Good morning everyone. Today is the 21st of January and you know exactly what that means. Onyx Storm has released in Australia. So I'm on my way to go get it from the bookstore and we're going to read it together. This will be a full spoiler reading vlog. If you haven't read Onyx Storm yet, save this for later. I don't really know what I'm expecting from this book. I actually did do a reread of both of these when I was on holiday. I told you guys earlier that I liked Fourth Wing. I did not like Iron Flame. This one was 4 stars and this was like 2.5 for me, honestly. This was all a bunch of nonsense and the real action only really happened about here. Like, this was just Yaros kind of trying to replicate the exact storyline and tensions of Fourth Wing. But this, the action happens. As of right now, before we jump into Onyx Storm, here's what we know. Xaden is venom, Andana is a 7th species of dragon, Violet has a 2nd signet, and I'm very excited to read Onyx Storm. Like, I hope it's kind of more of this. I hope it's good. I don't want to be disappointed this early in the year. I need more action. I need less back and forth between Xaden and Violet, but I'm yapping a little too much. So without further ado, let's pick up the book and get to reading. We are so back! This is actually quite a lot thinner than Iron Flame, which hopefully means there's not unnecessary stuff going on. Look at the inside cover. That is so stunning. Violet must journey beyond the failing Orician wards to seek allies from unfamiliar lands to stand with Navarre. Okay. Alright, it's time. To the ones who don't run with the popular crowd, the ones who get caught reading under their desk. Why was that quite literally me in high school? Did Violet know he was venom? Because she does now, let me just say. I moved over to the couch, but I'm on chapter 2 right now and the writers are getting sent out to find more of Andana's kind, whatever breed that is. And everyone somehow seems to know that Xaden is venom, which I'm actually really happy about because I was worried that the author would use Xaden becoming venom as an excuse to create a secret and then there'll be like more back and forth between Xaden and Violet. Oh my god, wait! I just read a line. The venom are inside the walls. Okay, great. There are venom in the building. Wait, what? One of the venom just vanishes into thin air. So they have like another kind of power. Shadows explode around us, immediately devouring every speck of light in a sea of endless black I instantly recognize as home. Tell me something, Violence. A muscle in his square jaw ticks as he stares down at me, rippling the tawny brown skin of his stubbled cheek. Why is it always you? Also, I just want to know, what is tawny brown? Like, what race is that? Because in my mind, right, when it's Xaden or Reese or whoever, in my mind, they low-key look kind of Middle Eastern. But then I look at fan art and they're all like Italian. Why is every single romantic fantasy man tan with black hair? Like, me? Me? What does that mean? What race is that? That's all I want to know. I could reach the rank of Maven, lead armies of dark wielders against everyone we care for, and watch every vein in my body turn red as I channel all the power in the continent, and I would still love you. And you want me to download Hinge? Where are we finding these people? Okay. So there's a bunch of different things to work through here right now. Firstly, Andana, they have to find more of her species, and Violet and a group of others, we don't know who, are gonna go do that. And then there's the matter of Xaden and how to solve this whole venom business. And then the flyers are in Basgaia, but a lot of the Navarrian writers think it's kind of like a betrayal that the flyers are inside the Riders Quadrant, so then there's issues at Basgaia too. And I think that's a really good thing. Like I said, I wanted more plot from this book. I know I keep moving locations, but a girl has to eat. And I'm on chapter 7 right now. One thing about Tan is he is so sassy. What is going on? Lunch is over, so I'm going to give you a quick recap on what's been happening. So it started out at Basgaia, and like the core people in the story know that Xaden's a venom, and they have to find more of Andana's species of dragon as well. So those were the two main things at the start of the book, and there's obviously some unrest at Basgiath with the arrival of the flyers, and then Violet gets arrested for treason by Colonel Atos, and she is sent off with the group of other riders where they're attacked by some wyverns, and that's kind of where we're up to right now. The one thing I will say, although I'm only like a sixth of the way through the book, I do appreciate that there's a lot more world building or more plot line rather than just back and forth romantic tension and stuff. I was waiting for a heavier, more fantasy aligned book. As much as I love romantasy, I did want a little more fantasy in this one, and I think we've got it. This is going to be a 5-book series, so it would make sense to start with the political stuff around this point. And now I'm going to have a few hours of uninterrupted reading time. Did he just die? Surely not. Surely not. Ew, ew. Irid. Okay, and Dana is something called an Irid scorpion tail. Sweet. What does that mean? It's always the same fight. I'll trust you if you stop keeping secrets. It's my secretive nature that attracted you. Why can't you stay out of harm's way for 5 minutes? Does that not summarize literally the entirety of Iron Flame? Anyway, we are now 111 pages into a 527 page book. I did not expect to see Xaden in his professor era. He's now a Basgiath professor who teaches signet sparring. I don't know if what I'm about to say is going to make sense, but Xaden just seems so American to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know, like American frat boy vibes is what I get from Xaden, because there is this chapter in here where he's teaching them to signet spar or whatever, and he's just knocking everyone out. Basically, everyone comes up to him trying to fight with their signets, and he uses his shadows to just overcome them, beat them, and then he goes, "Point made. I never need to draw a sword because I am the weapon." I think there is such a thing as too cocky. At this point, I'm cringing. I know he's a beloved book boyfriend. He's just not my book boyfriend. Okay, update from chapter 18. Father Sorrengail has left Violet a little clue, and it says that to fight the Venin, or to defeat the Venin, she needs to go to Cordin. Where's that? I'm gonna have to check the map. Then book passage to Deverelli and seek a certain merchant. So a quest. We're looking at a little quest. This girl Aura, I'm so angry. Aura, get off the mission. What is Aura doing? I spoke too soon. She just was killed by a wyvern, so a win is a win. That's what's happening. But I actually have to go out to dinner now. I'm very excited for dinner, but like, I just want to keep reading. I hope you can hear me. It is currently 9:35 p.m. I got back from dinner and now I'm locked in to read a little more before I go to sleep. And while I was at dinner, my friend and I were talking about the potential casting, like rumors for the TV show, and that Josh Houston is apparently gonna be Xaden. This guy, by the way, he's an Australian actor actually. Low-key unpopular opinion, but I can see it. I can actually see it. It could work. Something like this. I don't know. I think if this is the casting, not too bad at all. Let's read a little. 30% of the way through right now. We have 2/3 left. Good morning. 7:30 a.m. and you know exactly what's up. So as of last night, I fell asleep mid-chapter, but the group, the squad, has gone to Cordin or Deverelli. And they've realized that in Deverelli there's no magic, and so Xaden doesn't feel the pull of the Venin or like the urge to use his evil powers and whatnot. So interesting. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned this, but in Deverelli, wherever they are right now, there's no magic and no one can communicate with their dragons or their griffins or access their magic. Except Violet can still communicate with Ten and Dana. She's the only one. So is this part of her second signet? Or what's going on? Why can she communicate and no one else can? I have a feeling it's connected to her second signet, but what on earth is that? I don't know. Anyway, they're currently in King Cortland's palace, and this guy's psychotic. He's stabbing people, he's beheading people, he's serving human corpses to his pet panthers. Like, I don't know what's going on or how they're gonna get out of here. Okay, update. King Cortland just ordered the death of Violet and Xaden. King Cortland wants everybody dead. Holden has screwed everyone over because he's terrible at diplomacy, and can I just say, aside from Xaden, Violet has abysmal taste in men. Dane, Holden, she has an unnatural attraction to losers, and I'm really tired of this. Xaden just drew upon the alloy in Violet's pocket to kill 12 people who are trying to kill them, but like he's not even trying. He's not even trying to not use this venom power. I'm taking a break so I can put my laundry away. So while I'm doing that, let's talk about the book. So I'm 50% of the way in. I'm on around page 270, I think. And they're in Umbriel, which is another new location. Do you know how many times I've had to flip to that map to work out where we're going? Okay, so Violet, Xaden, and team show up to Umbriel. Blue-robed attendants rise on the temple steps and my footsteps falter. Every single one of them has silver hair. So I'm thinking we're about to get a possible explanation into Violet's history or potentially her second signet. Look at that. Look at... He has a mum? Okay, so they've just had dinner or lunch with the Triumvirate and Xaden's mum, who is now married to one of the members of the Triumvirate, and they're the leaders, I suppose, of Umbriel. The Triumvirate poisons the riders and flyers, but Violet poisoned them first with tea. So they've gone and poisoned each other. Only Garrick has eaten the poison. The other riders and flyers are fine, but now Riddoch has been stabbed, and I fear he may be the Liam of this book. Oh, it didn't stab him, never mind. False alarm. Page 340, they've finally found the Irids, or the Irids found them, on like a beach. So apparently the Irids are a peaceful species of dragons, and they left Andana behind as a test to see if humans had evolved beyond warmongering and hatred and whatever, and they've determined that that sort of evolution hasn't happened. At the same time, Riddoch has worked out that Xaden is Venom. Xaden and Violet just had the exact same dream, where the sage, that head Venom or whatever, he's threatening Violet, and Xaden has the temptation to channel, and they both had the same dream. So it's obviously some sort of forewarning. Honestly, I only have about 120 pages left, so we're close to the end, and not everything has been solved. In fact, nothing's been solved. Xaden is saying, you must be a dream walker. That must be your second signet. So it's a form of intrinsic, and you can walk straight into another person's mind when you're unconscious. And Dana just broke her bond with Violet. She just snapped the bond, and she can apparently do that because she's Irid, and it won't kill Violet. And of course she was the second dragon to bond Violet, and she just snapped the bond and went off with the other Irid. And now it's only Violet and Tan left. Evening. I've just come home from the gym, had dinner, showered. My training session was so good, by the way, probably because in my mind I was at Baskayev. And by the way, I do martial arts, so it's very much Baskayev in my mind. Currently 8:17 p.m. Look how close we are to the end. We still have a mess ahead of us for these 100 pages, and I'm a little stressed about it, to be honest. But 100 pages, 2 hours before I need to go to bed. We're finishing this tonight. Interesting development. Okay, so the sage knows when Violet is in a dream and he talks to her directly. It turns out Theophany, what sort of a name is that? Anyway, she has Mira. If Violet doesn't come to the sage, Mira dies. Okay, second last chapter. Xaden has fully passed the initiation stage of being Venom. He's like fully Venom now. But he grabbed onto a thread of Violet's love or something, you know, just the standard fantasy stuff. He grabbed onto the feeling of her love to ground himself, but he's still Venom. He's very much Venom, but he's a Venom who can love. What does that mean for the next book? I don't know. I finished. As of the end of this book, let's just recap. Andana's species, 7 species, the Irid, have been found, and Andana has returned to Violet as of the end of this book. Xaden has fully fallen into his Venom powers. He's now Venom. He's past the initiation stage, but he has held on to the love that he has for Violet or something. Obviously, that's going to become important later when he does fight back against it in the later books. Violet is married to Xaden. At some point, they went to the Temple of Dun and got married. She doesn't remember this, it wasn't written down, but they are married, and Xaden has said, do not look for me. And the last thing is, Brennan and the rest of Command essentially are looking for Xaden. They're hunting him down. They think they have a bunch of different riders missing, and they are pinning him down as the one responsible. Xaden's on the run, we don't know where he is. He is Venom, he's married to Violet, and that is where we're left at the end of this book. I want to go to bed and think on it, but I will be back tomorrow to review. It was good. It actually surpassed my expectations, so see you tomorrow. Let's chat about this. And I'm done. Let's talk about it. I gave Onyx Storm 3 stars, which means I thought it was better than Iron Flame, which I gave 2.5, but I thought it was worse than Fourth Wing, which I gave 4 stars. So 3 stars. Decent. What I really enjoyed about this book is how heavy it was with plot. I had a real fear going into this that, much like Iron Flame, it would just be a lot of back and forth between Xaden and Violet, but there was no miscommunication stuff happening. There was a bit of, obviously, Xaden physically distancing himself from Violet because he didn't want to hurt her if he lost control of like the whole Venom transformation, but there was never a question that they loved each other, and that was a question in Iron Flame, so I'm very glad none of that was present in this book. It was pretty much just a lot of plot, some politics, bit of questing involved as well, and yeah, I'm happy we got to see more of the world. Although there is that map in the front of the book. I'm sorry, literally none of the Isles, Deverelli, etc., they were not on this map. So I had no idea where we were half the time, quite frankly, but I did appreciate getting to see more of the world and getting more fantasy plot. As for the things I didn't love too much, between I'd say 20% to 50%, I was bored. I genuinely just got bored. I think there was a bit of a pacing issue, but once you hit 50, the plot really did pick up, and I was happy after that point. But yeah, it did get kind of boring here, and it felt like names and places were just being thrown at you. And as someone who did do a Fourth Wing and Iron Flame reread, I was still bamboozled. The writing was a little mid, I'm not gonna lie, but I have that same issue with all of the books in this series, so this wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I wasn't surprised by it, but it is what it is, you know. I don't read it for the writing, I do kind of read it more for the plot. I had thought going into this that a significant chunk of the plot would be everyone looking for a cure to stop Xaden turning Venom, because he was an initiate. By the end of the book he is Venom, but like, I thought they'd be looking for a cure. Nope. They did not do that. They were hunting for the Irid, they were hunting for this, what was it called? I don't even remember what it was called, but certain devices. They were hunting for this and that and that. No one was really looking to stop Xaden turning Venom. It was just a matter of Xaden trying to control himself from drawing from the earth. And I was like, what is going on? Obviously Rebecca Yarros wanted to save that particular plotline for the next book, but I really think it should have been talked about in this book. They just kind of went, oh, you know, there doesn't seem to be a cure. Okay, whatever. That was very odd to me. That didn't really feel realistic at all. Another thing I want to say is I think Yarros is playing a little by the handbook of not killing anyone important. We haven't had a real impactful death since Liam in Fourth Wing. Even General Sorrengail, like that really didn't affect anyone, did it? We weren't sobbing to that. No, you need a real impactful death to occur. When Garrett got shot, when Mira had her throat slit, like those are real impactful deaths. That would have been a good death. And I'm not saying I want these characters gone, but I'm saying you need something like that. You do need tragedies happening. A character dies and then they come back to life the next page, and it just takes the fun out of, not the fun, it takes the emotion out of it. Because when I was reading something like someone died, I didn't even miss a beat. I wasn't shocked, I wasn't upset, because I knew they'd be back. You don't want to get into the habit of doing this. So Rebecca Yarros, you need to start making some kills, genuinely. And someone important. I don't care about Traeger. I don't care about Aura Banehaven. I need a real painful one. I really know this is going to come back to bite me in the next book when someone does die, but yeah, I think that really has to be done. And let's chat about that ending. As of the ending, Andana is back with Violet, although I don't know if the bond has been reforged, but they're back together. The Irid have been found, of course. Theophany is dead. Xaden is missing after fully becoming Venom. He fully turned Venom, and he's on the run somewhere. But he and Violet got married and were blessed by the priests of Dun. Imogen used her power to mind wipe kind of Violet from knowing this, but she wakes up with a ring on her finger and a note that says, "Don't follow me," basically. Command is also hunting for Xaden right now, believing him responsible for missing or dead riders. So yes, a lot happening. My predictions for the next book are going to be that obviously Violet has to hunt down Xaden and find him, and he's going to be struggling with his venom powers and whatnot, but I don't think it'll be too bad, because he did say when he drew from the earth that he thought about his love for Violet. Venom can't love. So obviously there's going to be something there. Her love is going to pull him back from the brink or whatever. So yeah, she's going to track down Xaden and find him. They're going to find some sort of cure for the venom. There will be a fake out death. Like Xaden will die but then not die. I guarantee that's happening next book. The Irid are going to join up with Violet. So essentially Violet and friends are going to go rogue to save Xaden, and the Irid are going to come with them because the Irid like peace and honor and whatnot, and that's what I think is going to happen. Listen, but despite all my complaining, I did genuinely enjoy reading this. It was fun. Like I said, 3 stars is a decent book to me. It just doesn't mean it was extraordinary, which is fine. I liked it well enough. And I am very excited for the next book. If there's one thing Rebecca Yarros does well, it's setting up for the next book. So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you so much for reading with me. If you've read the book, which I hope you have because you just sat through a spoiler vlog, please comment down what you thought of it, what your theories for the next book are. And I'll see you next time. Bye.